I'm Sal.
I'm Beth.
We are the Brewery Lovers. Beth is really good at research, and she uses a number of criteria to determine which breweries we're going to visit. We visited 3 in and around San Luis Obispo in California, 2 of which had been named Brewery of the Year by the Great American Beer Festival, and of course they both had GABF award-winning beers, and they were right around the corner from one another. It was pretty amazing. Anyway, I would
Must be the water.
Tell them about how you use GABF to choose breweries.
So when we're going into a new state, I pull up the previous year's Great American Beer Fest winners. I just Google on my phone, GABF winners, and then you can go by category. And one of the categories is state. And then I can just flip through all the winners and see, all right, where are we going and did any of these medal this year? For those of you who aren't familiar with it, Great American Beer Fest was started in 1982 by the Brewers Association, which is based out of Denver, so that it's in Denver. In 1982, there was only 22 breweries that were entered. In 2024, there was 1,869 breweries and cideries that were entered.
So the competition is pretty stiff. So if you win a GABF medal, it's a pretty big deal.
It's a very big deal. And breweries really do like to, make people know that they won. They frequently have plaques, and instead of getting like a statue, you get a little beer keg that's labeled.
You'll see that in a minute.
But always, if they've won, that means they're a great brewery. But you got to play to win. So
Right.
If you haven't entered, you can't be best brewery in the country. So you may go to a brewery that you love and has the best beer you ever had and doesn't have any medals from GABF. And that might very well be because they didn't enter. It's not cheap to enter.
It's very expensive to enter. There's a train going by, but we're not going to stop it because we love trains.
We're not going to stop the train or the video.
Not going to stop the video. Yes, we're recording the video next to a train track. Whose idea was that?
Yeah.
What were we saying? Oh, if you don't enter, you can't win.
Yeah.
Very expensive to enter, so not every brewery wants to spend that cash. So you have to take these awards with a grain of salt. GABF.
It's always a good sign.
Always
but
a great
just
sign.
because your favorite brewery doesn't have one doesn't mean they couldn't possibly earn one. They
Correct.
might.
Yeah. So that said, this is not a GABF Brewery of the Year, but
it was really good.
right around the corner. It was excellent. Again, this may be, we didn't talk to the brewers, but it was a Sunday. But this could very well be a brewery that doesn't bother. They don't enter, so they're never going to medal. But the beers were absolutely superb.
The art was cool.
The place was really nice. It was nicely laid out and decorated and super clean. But I'll tell you what's funny about California breweries. They always have all the doors and windows open, regardless of the weather. Like, I guess if you live in California, you just assume the weather's going to be good every day.
And it is a lot of the time.
And so you end up freezing your little behind off in these breweries.
We have a whole crowler to go
Wait,
through.
is there beer?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going to let you wait any longer because it's a big one.
That is a big one.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So
Maybe we're sleeping next to the train tracks tonight.
that's a possibility. So this is from Apogee, which we're going to cover later in the video. And this is their beer called Scrubbed for Fog. Everything at Apogee has a space
travel
kind of connotation.
Oh, it's still hissed a little.
Yeah, it's still hissed.
This crowler actually leaked. By the way, there's another video about crowlers and growlers. A crowler is a can that the bartender fills for you. A growler is a large bottle or other container that has a lid, has a top. It's like a screw top. That's the difference. A crowler is sealed by the bartender with a rim machine, and a growler has a threaded cap. So, But this growler actually leaked, and we were afraid the beer was going to be flat, but I know exactly what happened. It leaked, and the beer sealed the leak.
Resealed it. When I fill these, I rinse them off because you get beer on the outside. When it runs around the machine, it sprays. Like the bartender ends up wearing part of that beer. But then I also, after I rinse it, I hold it upside down.
That's a good
Sometimes
idea.
just for amusement over my head.
That's a great
they
idea.
do like they do in the baking show to show that their stuff is done.
The whipped cream?
Yeah.
Or the meringue?
So just to be sure that I'm not sending somebody home with something that's leaking.
It smells lovely. Lots of fruit.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm happy that it's not completely flat.
Mm-mm.
It's
No, look.
Yeah, not at all.
Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of shortchanged. There does not exist, but...
No, we're still talking about it. Is that the name of this brewery? Mm-hmm. I cannot, for the life of me,
can't remember this
the
one.
name of this brewery.
And then it's got this cute little symbol.
Really interesting wall art. Boy, that beer's good.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So I got a crowler.
It's a little teeny tiny bit, not flat, but it's not as bright, sparkling as it should be because that crowler leaked, but it's still really good.
And this brewery, I bought the crowler because they don't can at all. They are a low volume manufacturing brewery, so more about that later.
Back to the there is no beer or whatever this place is called.
There does not exist.
This is the only logo I could find, not logo, but name I could find in the entire brewery. They do not want you to know the name of the brewery. There does not exist. So it's not a name that rolls off your tongue.
No.
And it's nowhere. Literally, this was the only place I could find it. It wasn't on the menu. But it was on a piece of swag. Pretty place, just really nicely laid out and clean. It was a super clean look, a lot of white. And the beers were excellent. I don't know that we wrote down what we had over there.
I don't think so.
But they served them in these little baby stangas. A stanga means pipe in German, and it's this tall, narrow glass that's traditionally associated with
Kolsch.
Kolsch, thank you, from Cologne. But they use these little mini stangas, which were nice. That's because we ordered short pours. They had full-size glasses,
Yeah.
too.
We were just getting started, so we had little beers.
On to the GABF winners. This is Liquid Gravity. And, again, nice. It was big brewery. Very nice. Nicely laid out.
Really cozy inside seating, really nice outdoor seating, and then here's all their medals.
Lots of awards. Not GABF, though. Some a little bit.
Some of
there.
them were, yeah. Some of them were California competitions, which if you win a competition in California, that's really saying something because there's a lot of breweries, and a lot of them are very good.
A lot of excellent breweries in California. This is the trophy you get for GABF. You get a little beer keg.
It's so cute.
And a medal. We got a flight. They had a nice little fire table there.
Yeah, she lit the fire table
The beer tender
for us.
lit for us. We were the only people there.
At that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It was early.
Beers were right down the middle. And again, that's a term I need to define. Somebody, I don't remember who, I apologize. Somebody put in the comments, that sounds to me like mediocre. I'm like, no. Think of the point after touchdown after a kick. Think of the point after touchdown kick in a football game. If it's a perfect kick, it goes right down the middle. So that's
through the goalpost.
Through the goalpost.
Okay,
That's where I use. I use the term right down the middle to mean the beer is exactly as it should be, by the book. Basically, that's what it means. It means by the book.
Okay.
And these beers were definitely by the book. So some of these were award winners. What do you got here?
Yeah, going from left to right, the first one is Crispy Life. It's a German Pils. The dark one is Goodnight Munich, which was gold in 2023.
It's a Munich Dunkel.
Munich Dunkel. Pale from the Crypt was also a winner. I can't remember which one. And Liquid Gravity, all the way on the right, was it's a West Coast IPA, and that was the bronze winner, 2023.
Pale from the Crypt was not a winner.
Wasn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 out of
I think it was a California, because there was definitely something on the wall.
probably. But 3 out of the 4 beers in this flight were GABF winners, and that's impressive. It's impressive no matter what, but for one brewery to have that many.
Yeah.
So this brewery is serious about GABF. They are willing to spend that money every year to enter, and it's paid off for them.
And they were the 2023 Brewery of the Year at GABF. There's also categories depending on the size of the brewery. So this was the number. It's by number of barrels, and this would be 2001 to 5,000. So,
right. Yeah, well deserved. The beer was superb, and the place was great. The beer tender was amazing. So, what else? What's not to like?
Yeah.
Apogee, however, I would say we have a playlist called Best Breweries in America, and it's getting a check mark for this video because Apogee was just ridiculous. And I mean that in a really good way. Totally nondescript little brewery, like almost in a mini strip mall. They did a cute job with the branding. It's all space travel, as Beth mentioned earlier, and the beer names. But it's just it's no great shakes in terms of looking at the place. It's just a typical nano, really, brewery. No food, no cans, no frills, but the beers were just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I liked the brewery process diagram. I thought was cute. There was all these little animals here and there. And I love this painting. It's an astronaut sitting on the moon. He's got a beer in his hand. He can't drink it because he's wearing a spacesuit, but I thought that was really clever. Here's another GABF trophy, and you can see their medals. They were just out. We could have just grabbed one.
Yeah.
Not that I ever would, but... so gold and a couple of bronzes there. This brewery specializes in Belgian styles. And Belgian styles are...
finicky.
They're easy to make, but they're not easy to make correct. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And a lot of breweries have what I call a Belgian-like beer. So they'll hand you, okay, this is a Belgian double. And you drink it, it's like, it kind of reminds me of a Belgian double, but it doesn't really taste like a Belgian double. That's the difference. But these guys absolutely nailed it and kind of blew my mind. Their mug club was fun. It was all these big mug glasses, and they keep your mug. So when you come and get your beer, you don't have to remember to bring it.
Yeah.
Again, this is a crazily award-winning flight right here. What do we got?
Well, for starters, the brewery itself was Brewery of the Year 2024, so this past year.
Really small.
For a really small brewery, 100 to 250 barrels per year.
One, I think.
Yeah, that's the smallest brewery.
No, 1 barrel to 250.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not 100.
No, 1 to 250.
Right.
So it's the smallest category. So the first one in the flight is called Aurora. It was a Belgian blonde. That was a winner. Hubble Double was the second one. That was a 2023 bronze.
Belgian double.
Monks in Space was a Belgian triple.
Triple.
That was a 2024 bronze. Scrub for Flight, which we're drinking now, is the hazy IPA, and I don't think that won anything.
That one didn't.
But that's a huge category.
Yeah.
Train.
That's fine.
Space Cadet is a golden strong, and that was 2022 bronze.
And I was just like, going down this flight, wow, that's really good. And the next one, oh my God, that's really good. And then I'm like, oh my God. It was like every beer. Oh my God. Just perfect. Apogee, well done, my friends. You crushed it. You are crushing it. And that's why you are getting the designation, along with Liquid Gravity, not just Apogee. But Apogee really impressed me, and Apogee and Liquid Gravity have officially become Brewery Lovers. Two of our most, what's the word? Best breweries in America, according to Brewery Lovers. For whatever that's worth.
That and $10 will get you a 6-pack of beer, right?
Hey, you got to start somewhere. Yeah, they wanted GABF, and now the Brewery Lovers have given their seal of approval. Who cares about the GABF? You know what? It was free. They didn't have to pay for ours.
That's right.
I know someday we'll monetize that.
Oh, let's hope.
Cheers.
Cheers.